Successful. I am detecting strong dark energy wave emissions, but I cannot pinpoint the exact location. We need to gather more readings.
Roger that, Mr. Riggs. Let's scout the area. Maybe we can find that spot ourselves. How do you think we should call these ancient aliens, Mr. Riggs?
Based on the data we've gathered, I would classify them as a Type 4 advanced extraterrestrial morphium-based civilization.
Okay, let's cut that short and call them X-Morph from now on.
Acknowledged. It fits well.
A new technology has been developed.
New buildings are available for construction.
Prepare for an ion storm.
The ion storm has started. All sensors are down. A lot of our equipment has been disabled. We have to wait until the storm passes.
Everything is getting back to normal. Thankfully, this didn't last long.
We've gathered enough data to locate the source of the dark energy wave emissions. I've marked the location on your map.
Okay, Mr. Riggs, let's go there.
Unknown threat detected.
It's a huge alien tower!
Watch out, Ashley. It shoots very powerful plasma projectiles.
How did these towers appear out of thin air?
We probably couldn't detect them with our senses. They must be using dark matter in their technologies.
Any technology that's sufficiently advanced is indistinguishable from magic. That sounds about right in this case. We can't directly detect dark matter and dark energy, but we can see the effects of its influence.
That is correct, Ashley. All of my dark energy readings are based on changes in the local environment that cannot be explained in any other way. For example, dark matter can affect gravity, but it does not interact with electromagnetic waves, including light waves.
Modern magic in its purest form. This looks like a crash site. I can see a wing fragment over there. I think a small spaceship hit the ground in this spot and broke up into pieces.
We should remove all hostile presence from the area before we try to study this site in more detail. The ship's core is partially intact. Some processes are still functioning.
How can you detect that? Isn't this supposed to be unknown alien technology?
Some of these mechanisms are quite similar to ours. A lot of them operate based on known rules of physics.
Except the ones that use dark matter. Maybe these aliens are just one step ahead of us.
We could power up this core if we deliver a large enough initiating charge.
Do you think we could get some data out of the ship's computer?
I think that could be possible. At least we could learn more about how their technology operates on a fundamental level.
Okay then, let's build up enough energy storage capacity, fill it up, and connect it to the ship's core.
I am detecting swarms of hostile creatures heading towards our location. It looks like they originate from a few central points. We should go there and clear them out.
Let's go there as soon as we've built up some basic defenses around this site.
Danger! Hostile creatures are approaching our base. Get ready for battle.
Warning, a new group of hostile creatures is coming from a nearby nest. It looks like the weather is calming down. Wind is getting slower. The wind is very slow today. Wind turbine efficiency is not going to be that great. This looks like an automated biofactory. It's fusing the local fauna with some kind of alien technology. It doesn't look right. It's more like a failed experiment.
It is threatening both to us and to the local ecosystem. We should destroy it.
You won't have to tell me that twice.
Wind speed projection is returning back to statistically normal values. Wind turbines are back at nominal power levels. Is gathering near our base. Prepare for an incoming attack. I'm detecting a change in wind power. This may affect our wind turbines.
All wind has stopped. Our wind turbines are down.
attack is imminent. We should build stronger defenses around our base. Ashley, the initiating charge for the ship's core is ready. You can go there and start the procedure. We have to be close to that object to control that sequence.
Okay, let's see if there's a ghost in this shell.
Warning! I'm detecting intense seismic activity. A strong earthquake is coming.
Rescue. Sensational.
Are you seeing this? Do you understand what it's saying?
Negative. It's an alien language. I am trying to translate it, but it's going to take some time.
I can speak your language. Who are you?
I am Captain Ashley Novak from planet Earth. I have found your ship crash-landed on this planet. Who are you? How did you come to this planet? Why were you destroyed?
This planet has been marked for improvement. Algorithm failed. Replication limit.
Danger! Power grid overloaded.
Oh no. We've lost the alien core. We had contact with actual alien intelligence, and it's gone.
Ashley, we should be satisfied that we had any contact at all. I only assumed that we could analyze this core's basic operations.
Establishing contact with a new sentient species is a milestone that's hard to describe. If only we could get more information out of it.
Warning! I'm receiving worrying signals from the Metallic Valley outpost. We should return there as soon as possible.
That timing is not a coincidence. Let's get there quickly. We're back at the Metallic Valley outpost. Mr. Riggs, can you give me a situation report? What was that warning about?
We have detected an unusual increase in hostile creature activity. There are more of them everywhere around the outpost. Our scanners are also picking up multiple sources of dark energy emissions that were not active when we were here earlier.
That's worrying. I think that our recent encounter at the crash site has caused this rise in activity. The meteors, alien sentinel towers, and hybrid creature attacks look like they've been caused by some central intelligence that doesn't want us here. We should scout the area to see what else has changed.
Ashley, we should postpone any longer trips outside the base. I am detecting a large hostile swarm amassing near our base. A large-scale attack is imminent. We should significantly strengthen our defenses.
Speak of the devil. Let's get to work then.
Base is under attack.
The moon is back to normal.
can sense the ground shaking. I estimate a few thousand creatures running at our base. They are very close. Prepare yourself, Ashley.
We've made all the preparations that we could. Let's go out and meet them. Under attack. That attack was stronger than anything we've seen here before. Those four-legged hybrids were terrifying. They had thick armor plating and plasma grenade launchers fused to their bodies.
They must have been intentionally designed as bioweapons. However, it looked like they were unfinished. These creatures probably would not be able to survive for long on their own.
Maybe it was a rushed design, created specifically to fight us.
That is possible, but it's just a hypothesis.
The situation is calmer now, Mr. Riggs. When we jumped back to the outpost, you mentioned that you were detecting new sources of dark energy wave emissions. Can you tell me more about that?
Of course. I had picked up a number of small dark energy wave emitters that hadn't been here when we first visited this location. They do not seem significant, but I think we should confirm whether they pose a threat to our base.
Okay, please mark some of their locations and we'll check what's going on.
Ashley, I'm detecting increased hostile presence after the last attack. There are a few hotspots of activity, and their signatures look like hybrid biofactories.
If we were fighting against an army, then I would say that the last attack was an invasion attempt, and they've managed to establish a forward base of operations. If we don't act quickly, they're going to overrun our base. Let's destroy these factories as soon as possible. The ground is shaking. It looks like an earthquake is coming.
The earthquake is starting. It will deal serious damage to our buildings.
Hey, Mr. Riggs, we're lucky today. It's a new resource deposit. Warning, hostile creatures are coming from a nearby nest. We should go there and clear it out.
Base is under attack.
Interesting. It looks like an X-Morph artifact. It's covered the ground with the same metallic structure as all the other X-Morph structures. It doesn't have any other apparent function.
I am seeing many similarities between this pylon and the X-Morph biofactories. I can try to extract more information from inside it.
It disintegrated as soon as we tried to tamper with its structure. The metallic surface around it has also disappeared.
This might be some biomodification device or an early-stage biofactory. We should destroy these objects even if they do not seem to pose an immediate threat.
We can get some extra resources out of them. Let's try to find as many of these pylons as possible.
We've destroyed all of the X-Morph biofactories. This will significantly reduce the pressure on our defenses.
We've defended this outpost against all immediate threats, but that won't keep us safe in the long run. We must resolve what's happening in the Metallic Valley. My theory is that the X-Morph crash-landed on this planet a long time ago. They've been mostly destroyed, but were somehow able to remain here in a hibernated state. Our arrival on Galatea 37 must have triggered their reactivation. We're either dealing with an automated defense mechanism or a centralized intelligence that's orchestrating all of the events that are happening around us.
Both of these scenarios are probable. If the hostile intelligence is centralized, then we could try to find it and destroy it. There's also a third possible scenario. It looks like all of the X-Morph-related structures and creatures can operate with full autonomy. They might have scattered intelligence that doesn't have a central hub.
In either case, we should work towards reducing their attack capabilities and strengthening our position. We should locate their biofactories and eliminate them. We could also try to take away their source of power, morphium.
The attack that brought us here originated from a plateau nearby. It is highly probable that they are manufacturing hybrid creatures at that location. I have marked it on the orbital scanner interface.
I can see a large lake of some liquid within this metallic biome. We've only seen morphium around here, so I guess that's it. That lake could be an almost endless supply of that resource. We could transport it to our other outposts and take advantage of it.
That is possible, but we would have to build a lot of liquid compressors in that location. We need to have that technology downloaded before there is any point in going there.
We've already downloaded that tech. We can go there as soon as we want to. Wind is picking up again. Power generation is back to normal.
Warning! A hostile group of creatures is heading towards our base. Prepare for an incoming attack. is imminent. We should build stronger defenses around our base.